Hi, hello everybody. My name is Marc Bates. I'm a metabolic health coach, and today's topic is the glucose paradox, rethinking nutrition for metabolic health. Okay. By the way, the gentleman here, his name is Dr. Gary Fetke. He's on the wearing the blue sweater. He's in the carnivore ketogenic diet community. He's very famous. He's from Australia. He actually lives on Tasmania, which is a large island just off of the Australian coast. And what makes him famous is that the medical establishment there in Australia was attacking him for years for suggesting that people don't eat a high carbohydrate diet, and that wasn't good for them. And they literally went after him, tried to pull his license, all kinds of other stuff. So just like in the realm of like Dr. Tim Noakes in South Africa and others, the food establishment, the medical food pharmaceutical establishment, will come down hard if you try to get people to get healthy by changing their diet. So he's famous for that. Okay, so a lot of this stuff comes from a lecture he gave recently. So let's look into this. Your body treats glucose like a toxin. Did you know that? This simple fact contradicts nearly everything conventional dietary wisdom has taught us for decades. When you consume carbohydrates, your body immediately mobilizes to remove glucose from your bloodstream as quickly as possible. It's not nourishing you, it's defending against you. Okay? This insight forms the foundation of Dr. Gary Fetke's controversial, yet increasingly validated approach to nutrition and metabolic health. His journey from conventional orthopedic surgeon to nutrition advocate reveals uncomfortable truths about our relationship with carbohydrates. The Silent Epidemic. Modern medical data reveals a startling reality. 93.2% of Americans are metabolically unwell. The same pattern exists in Australia, and it's spreading globally. This isn't a minor health concern, it's a crisis. Dr. Fetke's perspective emerged from both personal experience and professional observation. As an orthopedic surgeon specializing in diabetic foot complications, he witnessed firsthand the devastating effects of metabolic disease. I was sick and tired of amputating limbs and chopping off bits of feet, he explains, and the cause of that is too much sugar and carbs. His own health transformation reinforced this conclusion. After struggling with weight issues since childhood, he discovered that conventional dietary advice, following the food pyramid, only worsened his condition. By eliminating sugar and reducing carbohydrates, he lost 20 kilograms, that's 44 pounds, and resolved multiple health issues, including prediabetes, hypertension, and joint inflammation. The Maillard reaction. At the heart of Dr. Fetke's approach is a cooking term with profound health implications. The Maillard reaction. In cooking, the Maillard reaction occurs when carbohydrates combine with proteins under heat, creating the brown food. And that's the tasty bits in most of the food, right? But the same process happens inside your body when blood glucose levels rise. High glucose levels combine with the protein and under body heat, the Maillard reaction takes place. That reaction makes tissues stiffer and inflamed, and every time your blood glucose spikes up, you are effectively toasting your brain. Dr. Fetke's words. Your eyes, your kidneys, your vessels. This internal toasting damages organs and tissues throughout the body. It's not immediate, but over time, this damage accumulates, leading to the complications associated with diabetes and metabolic syndrome. The implications are profound. Every carbohydrate-heavy meal potentially contributes to this slow-motion damage. The Carbohydrate Myth. Perhaps the most controversial aspect of Dr. Fetke's approach is his challenge to the fundamental belief that carbohydrates are essential nutrients. We need essential fats and essential proteins, but there are no essential carbohydrates, he states. This directly contradicts conventional nutritional guidelines that place carbohydrates at the foundation of our diet. The human body requires certain amino acids from proteins and fatty acids from fats that it cannot produce itself. These are truly essential nutrients, but there is no equivalent requirement for carbohydrates. Our bodies can produce glucose through gluconeogenesis when needed. This process converts protein into glucose, ensuring that even without dietary carbohydrates, the body maintains the minimal glucose levels required for certain functions. The widely cited requirement of 130 grams of carbohydrates daily has absolutely no scientific basis, according to Dr. Fetke. It was literally plucked out of the air, like a lot of other things that we believe is true. The diabetes paradox. Dr. Fetke highlights a fundamental contradiction in conventional diabetes treatment. We give diabetics carbohydrates, then medication to counteract their effects. He frames this with a powerful analogy. If you got a kid with a nut allergy, you don't give them peanuts and then give them an adrenaline as a chaser or, as a shot. So why do you give people with diabetes who can't metabolize carbohydrate properly, why do you give them carbohydrate? Then tell them to have medication to reduce it. This question exposes the logical consistency at the heart of conventional diabetes management. If diabetes is fundamentally an inability to properly metabolize carbohydrates, the simplest intervention would be reducing carbohydrate intake. Yet, standard dietary advice for diabetics still includes substantial carbohydrate consumption, coupled with medications to manage the resulting blood glucose spikes. The consequences are significant. These medications have side effects and complications. More importantly, they address symptoms rather than the underlying cause. The glucose perspective. Understanding the body's relationship with glucose requires a fundamental shift in perspective. A normal blood glucose level is approximately 4 grams, equivalent to 1 teaspoon. This tiny amount circulates in our entire bloodstream, yet a single slice of bread contains about 5 teaspoons of glucose equivalent. When we consume carbohydrates, our body can only metabolize a small portion immediately. The rest must be quickly removed from the bloodstream under the influence of insulin. Dr. Fetke argues that this immediate removal of glucose from the bloodstream indicates that the body treats excess glucose as potentially harmful. By definition, a substance that has detrimental effects on a system is considered toxic. This perspective inverts conventional thinking about carbohydrates as primary fuel. Instead, it suggests that our bodies are designed to function optimally with minimal carbohydrate intake. Okay, if you could do me a big favor, please subscribe. You can hit the button to get notified when we publish new videos. It really does help the channel out a great deal, and once again, I personally will thank you. The nutritional model of inflammation. Dr. Fetke has identified what he calls a nutritional model of inflammation that drives modern disease. This model implicates 3 primary dietary factors: refined carbohydrates, polyunsaturated seed oils, and fructose. Together, these create a highly inflammatory state in the body. This chronic inflammation underlies numerous modern diseases, from diabetes and heart disease to autoimmune conditions and cancer. The solution, according to Dr. Fetke, is therapeutic carbohydrate restriction. This approach, whether called low-carb, healthy fat, LCHF, ketogenic, or carnivore fundamentally addresses the root cause of metabolic dysfunction. By reducing carbohydrate intake, insulin levels normalize, inflammation decreases, the body shifts to utilizing fat as its primary fuel source, which Dr. Fetke argues is our evolutionarily preferred metabolic state. Real-world results. The evidence for Dr. Fetke's approach comes not just from biochemistry, but from clinical results. He has observed remarkable improvements in patients who adopt therapeutic carbohydrate restriction. In hospital settings, simply providing diabetic patients with eggs, cheese, and full-fat yogurt led to improved healing of leg and foot ulcers. Some patients reported that their type 2 diabetes was controlled at home through diet, but returned when they consumed hospital food. Dr. Fetke notes that blood glucose control can improve within hours of dietary change. Using continuous glucose monitors, he has observed patients normalize their blood glucose levels within 24 hours of reducing carbohydrate intake. These rapid improvements suggest that type 2 diabetes is not necessarily a progressive, irreversible condition as conventionally understood. Instead, it may be a physiological response to inappropriate diet that can be addressed through nutritional intervention. The institutional resistance. Despite clinical success, Dr. Fetke has faced significant opposition from medical authorities. He was reported to the medical board 3 times by dietitians for his nutritional advice to patients. In one remarkable case, he was criticized for inappropriately reversing someone's type 2 diabetes on national TV. Yeah, get that. The objection was not that he failed to reverse diabetes, but that by doing so he was somehow inappropriate. This institutional resistance highlights the entrenchment of conventional dietary wisdom and the financial interests that support it. I always keep saying this, follow the money. That tells you everything you need to know about why certain types of diets are pushed by pharmaceuticals companies, food companies, and the medical community. Dr. Fetke reports being targeted by representatives from the sugar, cereal, and pharmaceutical industries after beginning to speak publicly about nutrition. The resistance to low-carbohydrate approaches persists despite mounting evidence of their effectiveness. This suggests that nutritional guidelines are influenced by factors beyond pure science. The future of metabolic health. Dr. Fetke describes the current situation as a tsunami of modern disease, with 80% of the population potentially on the path to diabetes according to insulin response curves. The health and economic implications are staggering. Yet he remains optimistic because a solution exists. Type 2 diabetes can be put into remission or reversed through therapeutic carbohydrate restriction. This approach addresses the root cause rather than managing symptoms. Dr. Fetke advocates for practical interventions like providing continuous glucose monitors to all type 2 diabetics. This would allow individuals to see immediately how different foods affect their blood glucose, empowering them to make informed dietary choices. The broader implication is that we need to fundamentally reconsider our understanding of human nutrition. If carbohydrates are not essential nutrients and excess glucose is harmful, the foundation of conventional dietary advice crumbles. Beyond diabetes. While diabetes represents the most obvious application of Dr. Fetke's approach, the implications extend much further. The same metabolic dysfunction that leads to diabetes also contributes to numerous other conditions. Alzheimer's disease is increasingly recognized as type 3 diabetes, a metabolic disorder of the brain related to insulin resistance. Heart disease, cancer, and autoimmune conditions all have connections to metabolic health and inflammation. By addressing the fundamental nutritional drivers of inflammation and metabolic dysfunction, Dr. Fetke's approach potentially offers a pathway to preventing and addressing a wide range of modern diseases. This perspective suggests that seemingly distinct health conditions may share common underlying causes related to our modern diet and lifestyle. A new nutritional paradigm. Dr. Fetke's journey from conventional orthopedic surgeon to nutrition advocate represents more than a personal story. It signals a potential paradigm shift in our understanding of human nutrition and health. The emerging evidence suggests that many of our fundamental assumptions about diet need reconsideration. Carbohydrates may not be essential nutrients. Healthy fats may be our preferred fuel source, and many modern diseases may be preventable through dietary intervention. This new paradigm challenges powerful institutional and commercial interests. But as Dr. Fetke's experience shows, the health benefits for individuals are too significant to ignore. The question is not whether our understanding of nutrition will change, but how quickly we can overcome institutional resistance to embrace evidence-based approaches that truly serve human health. As Dr. Fetke puts it, the message is too important to be silenced. Okay, thank you very much for watching. Once again, please leave messages, leave me comments, leave me questions. And if you have any ideas for a video you'd like me to do next, let me know and we'll work on it right away. Thank you so much. Have a great day.